Hello, we are back once again. I've been enjoying this game too much. So, I did a little bit of off-camera grinding, and what I mean by that is I let the game run in the background while I was at work. We got 30 tickets in that time. That was what, like 8 to 10 hours? So, there's a bunch of things we can now get. We have like these hypertube things, which is interesting, I suppose. More signs. More lights. The light control Oh, that was a separate purchase. I'm glad I thought ahead there. Um, one thing I definitely want now is the solid line patterns. And I suppose that's it for now. Walls would also be quite nice. I want these like gates, windows, more windows. Maybe the roofing, but I don't know just yet if I want that. Let's see, if I add all these, 12, that's 22 tickets. We also have those I could potentially get. What else do I want? This could be interesting, but I think for now that's all I want. I do kind of want the elevator. Yeah, I got enough. I might as well get the elevator now. It's a whole lot of stuff. A minimum of 2 minutes per day. Honestly valid. Now, if we get... Oh, where is the elevator? Oh. Now, the one thing I will say is this thing is absolutely huge. So this will probably use ladders. And I'll use elevators in the future. Maybe the factories primarily use ladders just because they're factories. They're not really meant to have the large amount of stuff. But what I'm most interested in at the moment is that we now have all these windows and gates. Oops. And I'm actually thinking for things like this, maybe I do push some kind of like wall or gate for like the future ones of these. That could be interesting. It would also annihilate the need for this road here, because it would just be a gate like right about. Oh, these things are huge. Good lord, okay. So the gates are actually 2 tiles wide. So this one probably won't use a gate because that would be gigantic. Oh, this one would work. Is it just the roll-up gate that's large? It is. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool. We'll definitely use gates later. This one will be one of the earlier builds, therefore it won't have a gate. Another thing I wanted to do is I'm considering investing in taking the streetlights and moving them into the middle. I'm not entirely sure why it's there, but thinking, what if I do something here? Like that. And then we'll just move this over like that. I don't hate it. That goes too far into there though. In that case, what I'll probably end up doing is changing these. Um, we're probably about to have a grid shut off, but these would have to go a little bit further over. And we'll suffer the consequences later. Or this will then go there, there. And then we'll kind of repeat that. What I want to do is I'll do that. That way I don't actually need these. Oh, it's also connected over here, so that's why the grid isn't going out from that. Alright. Let's get the... There we go. Some of that playing. Page down. Same with over here. That's temporary. I'm thinking what I want to do is I want to take that light, and instead of pushing it over here, I actually want to push it at this corner here. And I want to say interesting. Okay. I got that connected there. So I can probably take this out without the grid going out. Essentially, and let me take this out for now. What I would like to have is a light right here. Yep, there we are. I will do that. That way we get lights kind of all the way across. Simple enough. I am wondering if maybe I should do the same sort of diagonal pattern here. That could work. And then up here, we just continue with this straight pattern. The reason I want to do that is because this side doesn't exactly have that sort of like light right here. I definitely could invest in placing one right there, but that might get too crowded looking. At the same time, I suppose maybe it doesn't matter too much. Let me actually make sure to lower these down. Where I'll then connect to that and that. Then that'll connect to that. There we go. This is in the middle there, middle there. Oh, that's at the edge there? This entire one can actually get moved over down here. We'll get rid of this one. And then we'll do that. There we go. Now that looks a little bit more balanced. So what I want to do is I kind of want to go over here and sort of fix, or not fix, but sort of expand. There we are. We have a 2-meter tall ramp there. That one's more of a hill. We're gonna go to foundations. And I think I could get away with this over here. Maybe not. Also, I want these to be asphalt, not concrete. We'll do the half foundation there, and then we'll turn this one into concrete. Or maybe not, since this is technically a slope. I think I want this. And then we'll turn that into concrete. And I can either do that, or, yeah, no, still that. And then here I can do this one without any flaw. And this tree is going to be in the way. I'll take care of that later. I do want to kind of incorporate nature into this. I don't want to entirely replace it. Simultaneously, it also wouldn't make sense to kind of just leave it on top of like sidewalks and stuff. Not to mention, this one goes through a rock, so this one looks a little, these two look a little funny. But I don't have my chainsaw on me right now, so just keep this up. And what I want to do is I want to have this go down as much as I can. Because I want to try and make a sort of like gas station. But let me figure out how wide it's going to be first. I also eventually want to take the... Oh, I'm missing concrete. I want to take the reinforced plating and start throwing it into a sink soon. There we go. We got that. Um, these are all kind of correct. Can I potentially get away with... No, because that would mean I have to change it all the way down. Or would I? I could, in theory, use a flat ramp here. That pretty much covers that. And then from there, we're just using this downwards corner. Oops. Then we're gonna move that down. Let me, hang on. Let's get, oh wait. Let's mute the music. Oh, let me also use streamer mode. I didn't even realize that was a thing. I assume that has to do with the jukeboxes. So we have this here. Oh, and something I want to do is I want to sort of follow the rules of the road a little better. So the first thing to note is typically yellow. Yellow means the lane next to it is oncoming, or there is no lane next to it in some cases. But a dashed line means passing is allowed. And here, passing is not allowed, so it doesn't make sense to keep that. Wait, okay, we'll do that. Let's get this side corner line. But why is that not filled in? Oh, I see. Okay. So then this needs the center line. And then that's just going to be a little bit short. Take the side corner line. And then we're going to take the side line and chuck it here all the way up. Oh, wait. That's not right. There we are. Then we'll push this on this side. Remove these two because this is where you go into the parking spot. I think we're gonna put a truck icon here because that's meant for trucks. And I was thinking, what if I threw like the exit to a parking space like over here somewhere? Now the parking space I guess will then be for like the truck starting area, not generally for anyone to park. Alright, so then now we can focus on this. And this is supposed to be more of like a wider road. Let's go through here and grab the vehicle. I definitely didn't select to have a big head. So that's weird. Yeah, no, that was a bug. Let's go over this. Now we'll go through here, and I want to say this will be this way. Yeah, if I do like a no shoulder type of deal, then technically it works. Although I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, might as well. I want to do something like solid on this side, dashed on this side. So what I'm think oh wait, I could also do center lines. Center lines would allow for essentially there we are. Yeah, that allows for a shoulder. It would just be a little extra wide, but that's fine. Um, then we want the center lines here to be dashed. because there would be same direction traffic over here. And, oops. We'll edit this. I'm not sure how to make a new color, but we'll figure that out. I'm pretty sure, yes. Top, oh wait, nope, I lied. There we are. And I think I painted the belt too, that's fine. And I think this will be white as well. Whoops, I didn't mean to paint the car, that's fine. And we'll have to remove these because those are the lanes that turn from. Actually, let me use the dotted or dashed lines there because you technically can't turn in that way, but you can turn out that way. Or no, you can turn in this way. I lied. That's fine. Um, how am I gonna do the gas station? I could do it. Oh, let me do that. I could potentially try and do it somewhere around here, but let me get the entire width of the system sorted out first. I'll do that. If I do a ramp here, and then an up corner here. Yeah, that looks like it fits in with the terrain. And we'll just do these on the way up. And it looks like eventually the temporary setup I have is gonna have to move. Alright, and we're cutting it close, awesome. And what's super important is that I will eventually need streetlights on the other side. Alright, so let's keep going with this. Because I think we got it perfectly lined up with this now. This one will just be that, and then this one will be that. And then we just smooth it out a little bit. The roads won't be perfect, but I mean, nothing a truck can't handle later on. Come to think of it though, what if I just... Oh, that wouldn't work, would it? Okay. But this would work if not for that. I do kind of want this to go down when I can. But this is all constantly uphill. So that's going to be challenging. for certain. Oh wait, this is technically like a flat. So then I can do this with a corner up like that. It's not entirely at level yet, but we'll get there. Smoothing it out is all just a part of the process. Yeah, that's wrong. There we are. And of course, I do want it to be this color here. Although I'm thinking maybe I'll change this to the solid line since 2 lanes make sense, and then we'll do that. So yeah, let's do solid lines there. And I'll go back over the ones that are sideways later. There we are. And where this works out is that I'm gonna have what do you call it? The street lamps on alongside it. I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is maybe I'll push the sidewalk on this side since this is more of a walkway. At the same time, I don't think it needs a sidewalk on that side. The one thing about this is I want most of it to be like a sort of planned to be a city. The only reason why this doesn't really depend on cars as much is because that's where like the central stuff would be. MAM Research Center. That let's go figure out where my chainsaw is. Um, I'll do that and then get this out of here before it's too late. Yep. We're just gonna head the wrong way on this road for the time being. But that is narrow. Gonna have to be careful with that. Also, this should be a solid like that. There we are. And then we'll just head up this way. Interesting. I didn't really give myself room to get through this one, did I? Let me change this one. There we are. I won't have the ladder for this one, so I'll just have to be careful, but I have a way through it now. And I think what I'll do is the larger power stations will be sort of lined up with the highways and stuff like that. Oop. And I definitely do want to do a center there, because I'm thinking about doing some kind of like a way where things kind of merge over. Put that and that away. We're gonna grab this and head over here where my invisible box is. Oh, it's no longer invisible. Neat. Okay. Grab some coal out. Don't need the wood. Although my inventory is probably gonna get a little packed. Let's head over to the sink. For now, I'm gonna throw these in there. Oh, right. Let me also head over here while I'm at it. And this is the more temporary side of things. Yeah, because this won't actually allow me to push anything further. So we're gonna go with a smart splitter, which needs rotors. Thankfully, we have those over here. Not only do we have them over here, but we also have it filled up over here. Do that. Where we want, we'll say left side to be overflow. And then I'll get a sink right here. Oh wait, can I not throw these in here? Oh no, it just has no power. Awesome. How many points is this giving me? Just about 3,000 per minute. Or per second, I should say. So what I want to do also is I want to take these and potentially do the same thing. So we're just going to take these belts, change it from Mark III. I don't want it curved though. Oh, I'm out of steel beams. Alright, we'll do Mark II for this one. And then I'll do a merger here maybe, and here. Maybe I'll do this merger facing that way. And what I want to do is push this here. Maybe this one. It looks like it works better with this one. That there. do the same thing, try and push this. Alright, maybe what I'll do then is this. And then same deal, we'll push this one into here. That's wrong. Push that to there. This one into here. And then I'll have to merge these into there. And essentially that'll take whatever extra goods there are and push it into the sink as well. Rotors won't be extra at the moment, but eventually the plates will. Why isn't it? Oh, right, because I never actually changed the setting here. This one right should be overflow. This one right should also be overflow. And this one right should also be overflow. So at first it's gonna seem challenging because, well, these don't actually have space to go up into there just yet. Oh, wait. Oh, is that not? Wait. There we go. So eventually these are gonna start taking the place of it. And we're about to start getting an even faster rate of parts. Looks like I'm pushing 24,704 every minute. And that's because I'm getting some of those, some of those. It's gonna go down eventually once the backup starts to run out, but yeah. Alright, now that we got that sorted out and we're getting even more tickets from leftover goods we're not using, I'm gonna head over to the car. We're gonna head back and then we're gonna start cutting down some basic goods. Let me also make sure to plug my phone in so it's not dying when I get to work, and also so I can pay attention to the time because I do have to make sure I go to work. There we are. It is now 4:13. We have until about maybe 5:30. So let's see how much we can get done in an hour. Or in another hour, I should say. It'll be like an hour 45 total. Or actually 2 hours. I had a 2-hour stream today. Things are so much better when I'm not slacking off. I definitely should try to slack off less and stay consistent more. Because I really do enjoy streaming a lot. Oh, one thing I wish they would add is like an elevator but for cars. Or perhaps the same thing for a train where it'll kind of stop onto a platform and then that platform can either rotate or another one can elevate. That would be pretty cool. So now we have this 2-lane road, which I can't actually get through thanks to this. And I want to have like a spot in between it. I'm still wondering what I'm gonna do about this. I'm thinking what I'll do is keep it flat. But the other thing is, let me actually get to moving the manual parts. What I need to do is get a chainsaw and start cutting things. Oh, it looks like I can't actually cut these. Yeah, okay, there's not actually much I can do here to make this better. Um, let's try and see if I can fit an equipment workshop in here. I can. Maybe the equipment workshop gets thrown like right about there. So it's kind of built into the rocks a little bit. Then I'll get a crafting bench, place it just about over there. And research center, which is a little bit bigger. I can throw it right there. And I think maybe what I want to do is take the equipment workshop and swap it around. Perhaps put the door there. I would like to get it to where it's not like crushed inside the cave. So let's do this real quick. First, let me get foundation so I can actually sort out how I want this to go. There we go. We've laid out the ground floor. Okay, we can't go there. Okay, I think that works. Leaves a little gap right there, but that's fine. Nothing's phasing through the inside of it, and that's exactly what the intentions were. We can potentially throw this up here. And then I just need room for the little crafting bench. Whoops. No. Huh. I wonder how I'm gonna fit that. I suppose I could just throw it back here, but actually, That's kind of the foundation. So as long as nothing but the foundation crosses into that, it's fine. And then let's say we get a ladder. That's not gonna work. Right, page up. Right, we need it to be curved just once more. And we're just gonna keep experimenting, sort of. It needs to be a little higher. I think it just needs to be further back. All right, let's try this. Almost. Closer. Okay, just a little bit too far. Tiny bit more. I think the ladder will go directly in the middle. There we go. We have a ladder now. So now we have this. We have the MAM Research Center. And we have the equipment workshop. And all of it's kind of placed in this little cave, which just works. And let me see if I can do like a sign. We'll do walls, I suppose. No, I don't want those because that's going to cause problems with the... I don't want it to merge in with the thing too much. But I suppose it's just a sacrifice we'll have to make sure it's not like giving me too much of a gap down there. Let's do basic wall. And then I'll just get a little bit of a sign here. Oh wait, actually, hang on. I'll set this to the builder workshop. I'll set this to the crafting station, and I'll set this to the MAM Research Center. I suppose maybe we'll just set these to black and gray just for the sake of seeing the icons. I also want no emission strength. There we are. That kind of gives us a little icon of what that's supposed to be. Now we can focus on this. Where these are going to be concrete. Oh, I forgot about the awesome shop. I'll just have to relocate that eventually. Then we have a personal storage container with various bits and bobs to do something with. Oh, and a dismantle crate with cables. Let's see, how many tickets do I got? Okay, that works. Maybe what I'll do is I'll place the personal storage box temporarily there. Excuse me? Are you one of the tamed ones? You are. Why are you so giant? Yeah, it's stuck. That's fine. Okay. Interesting. So anyway, I'll just chuck some various things in here, like these I don't need at the moment. Coal I don't need at the moment. I can sort this, take all this, and whatever I'm doing I don't need here. Oh wow, I have 50 of this alien protein stuff? That could be quite useful. And then we'll take the cables. I think what I want to do is we're gonna take these. We're gonna head over into the uh workshop. And then we're gonna craft these into various DNA capsules. And then I'll throw those in the sink and potentially get more tickets. This will only take a little bit, hopefully. I do have an idea for the sidewalks. At the same time, I'm really not sure if I want to do it. I have those catwalks. I just don't think I'm gonna get them to look as good as the concrete, just because it's a completely different material. I really do wish they had like the half slab variants of the slopes and stuff like that. It would be super useful. But now that we have this just about done, we're gonna throw all of those into the sink. And once we get all of those thrown into the sink, things change. Oh, okay, that's a Mark III belt. That's a Mark II lifter. I am generating a crazy ton of this stuff apparently. Um, suppose I do have this merger right here. And what I can do is just chuck those in there. Let me get more steel beams. There we go. It's not great, but it works. And we're getting 2,000 every minute. Also, I ended up learning that things don't lose value over time. What ends up happening is it just calculates the amount you're getting per minute, and then it changes based on that value every second. So this, it seems like it's going slower. That's just because the production of the rotors, reinforced plating, smart plating, and modular frames are decreased. So essentially what that means is because I'm getting less, the average value of points I'm getting is also lowered. Um, it looks like that's just about all of those. And I ended up being exactly one short until the next one, but that's fine. So we now have 17. I think what I'll do is I'll place an awesome shop just about here. We have industrial catwalks. I'm wondering if I want to get anything else just yet. I'm not worried about like the statues or anything like that. I'm mostly worried about management organization. Like the indoor lighting is something I'm gonna need in the near future. I also want these signs. Let me get the bigger signs. Because once I go to organization, you see now we get the label signs, the square signs, display portrait, and we even have like a large billboard, which is gonna be crazy useful later on. I do want to get the label sign, and I was actually told by somewhere the signs can now be zooped, which is really cool. But let's say I want something like this. Can I select no icon? Oh, let's say I want like a purple color. Oh wait. Oh yeah, yeah. We're just gonna make both of it like a bright purple. And then we want that glossy and max emission strength. I do wonder if maybe there's other signs that might look a little better for this idea. Let's say we do. Oh, oh right. Maybe I have to. Also, let me remove the set text here. We're gonna set the backgrounds to none. Grid, blueprint. Let's do none. And of course I ended up getting this backwards. This one is what needs to be there, this one can be black. Maybe if I do matte that changes? No, glossy kinda looks better. I could do stuff like that, kinda just add some colored accents around the area. That would be pretty cool, I think. Uh, couldn't I also... Oh, if I kind of mix them together, it then kind of hides that little bottom thing. Or I should say the frame. Then I could just do something like that, I want to say. And then we just mix that, and then I got like a little bit of an accent there that just kind of works nicely. Now, I'm not sure if I'll keep that, but I mean, it's something I could do. Another thing I could do is potentially even smack, whoops, smack these across here. Now we kind of got a light going alongside the road there. Various things I'll kind of experiment with later. So what I want to do now is I kind of want to keep pushing the sidewalks over here. That one's going to be the more painful one to manage because it's kind of its own sort of situation. I was thinking if I get walls here, maybe I can use the catwalks to kind of add little like upwards steps. It's unfortunate because they don't have a catwalk tilted without like a railing. So I'll probably have to get creative with this in the future. Because I don't want the like all of them, all the sidewalks to have these weird railings. It would just look funny. Um, yeah, I can't do concrete foundation for that. I could always change the colors of it, but that doesn't really change the metal. The only thing I can think to do is turn these into concrete and then kind of make like a wall layer. First, let's fill in There we go. Then I'll do that. Oh, wait a minute. Pretty sure I actually wanted these to go up a tile higher than the... And in turn, that would kind of hide these railings on both sides. The only challenging part is crosswalks later on. Because I'll have to make sure it's not on a slope. Or if it is, it'll have to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, I don't hate this. We've got a little bit of a thing here with a fence in between it. Uh, cool. Although, I'm still confused on why you're gigantic. I think I'm just gonna... If I can, I would like you to follow me back up to here so I can get like a valid image of you. Oh, and this part I'm gonna have to change later because that's actually gonna turn that way. But we will figure that all out later. I don't think I want the road to go that way. At least not yet. I don't think there would be a point in doing anything over there. Not until I get another coal plant, maybe. Come to think of it, though, I won't actually need to make another road that way. I can just expand it this way. Because I could just take that, duplicate it over here, and then take the coal and kind of just merge it around. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna throw that right there. We got a flat right here. Although I probably could get away with doing something flat. Let's take these out. We'll leave that there temporarily. Actually, no, we won't. We're gonna go to foundations, make sure this is asphalt once again. We're just gonna go to the half foundation here. And then this is a ramp, that's a ramp. We can just smack that right in the middle there. Of course, you're not gonna have a pattern. This can probably go away. So we're gonna have the same sort of deal here where this kind of goes that way. But first, let's sort this out. Or I'll go with something like that, so we can start lowering the road even further over here. Oh, wait, maybe not just yet. Hey, you know what I could do? If I take this and throw it in the middle there, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna take this and I'm actually just gonna have to throw it all the way over here. Since that's higher, it shouldn't affect the... Oops. Yeah, since that's higher, this ramp shouldn't affect the decals too much at all. Um, let's just remove these two. We're also going to remove these two, and we're going to replace that with a center corner line. We'll then replace these with center lines going this way, which at first glance looked like it was causing merge problems, but there's a reason for that. We'll then get the dashed center line. Whoops. And then we'll just push it this way. Invalid target, got you. We'll do that. Perhaps what I should actually do is push it here so it lines up better. Still gonna have trouble lining up, but that's okay. And then we'll do another solid corner line here with solid center lines heading that way. And then we'll take these out. Although yeah, I do want some kind of like a foundation here. So let's do that. I would like to be able to place something under said foundation. Kind of push it to where it's flat. I could do like road barriers or something like that. Let me check the Awesome Shop for what barriers I could potentially use to make it look like it's fitting. We have metal barriers and construction fences. We also have the modern railings and industrial railings. I think I want metal barriers. I think that's the way to go. And then we'll do that. Awesome, okay. And the idea behind this is that I kind of want the street lamps on top of it. So take this, kind of throw it right smack in the middle. And then that's off center. We'll do something like that. Although maybe further back. There we are. Get this pushed down. Alright, these are already connected with another wire. That goes through there. This will probably just go straight up here. We'll then connect it to hopefully this one because this actually has a gap through it. This one, I suppose, also works since it has a gap going through it. This one does not. And I suppose maybe it's better if I just smack that right there. Or, come to think of it, if I take this and smack it there, that's not necessary. And this only becomes as necessary as its connection to the sink, right? And also that wire over there. So let's do that. We're gonna break that. Oh boy. Oh, right, because I never actually connected that up. Alright, let's smack that right there. And let's turn the power on. Boom, problem solved, temporarily. The problem is that this isn't actually connected to anything just yet. So that one is going to be holding these two grids together for the time being. Let's now go to the other side. Wait a minute. This actually would have been fine. Because this, you shouldn't be able to cross over here anyway. I mean, I'd be more concerned with this where... Oh, this is the way in. I don't think I want you going this way and then turning in from there. That would be weird for traffic. So I want to say... Huh? Okay. I want to say this will be like a that way turn only sort of deal. And then maybe this allows for U-turns right here. So let's sort of fix that. Of course, we'll get this here. And then I just need to get more stoplights all the way up. Oh, 7 out of 7. Oh boy. I have a solution. I click this, so that now merges those. We're gonna go with maybe the middle of this one? Maybe? Does that look like it's too close? I mean, these are getting the entirety of that. This won't. So maybe I do this one right here. Sort of like the front half-ish. And I should probably figure out colors before I get too far, but we'll figure that out later for sure. Because I'm gonna have to paint everything, and that's gonna get annoying later if I don't do it. Oh, wait. Hello. Cat jumped on my lap. Alright, let me do that. And then we'll merge these together. There we go. Come on, cat. There we are. So now I just need to keep sort of repeating that. Since that skips 2, I think it's safe to say this one can skip 2 as well and go in the middle here. Ah, right. Maybe what I should do is... There we go. I'm gonna start probably taking advantage of that just a little bit more. Okay, cool. So now we have this. Oh yeah, I was right. This is definitely... Alright, I don't want to break this one just yet, but we're actually gonna move this one down to here, where I'll then take this. Alright, cool. And, we're gonna risk it a little bit. Yep. Then that will go there. Then I just have to repower on the system. Oh, I didn't even realize that. This technically causes problems because it doesn't have a connection point, and the connection point of this one is full. Um, to be fair, the sink is temporary, so let's destroy that and then do that, and then this can officially connect here, which then essentially means I can break this one or this one. I want more street lamps up both sides, but for now we'll take this one out. Now it's all connected because of this. And things are running well. The next thing I want to do is I don't want to cover this entirely, but I do want to sort of make sure I do that. Um, oh, the one problem is I won't be able to do like arrows and stuff now. Oh wait, I don't actually have the arrows and stuff. Did I place tickets in here? No, okay. Let's just hope and pray it's only 2. I go to customizer. Oh, arrow patterns is only 1. Awesome, okay. You know, Sounds a lot like how the gaming market is now. That might have been a direct attack. Anyway, now I have these, so I can essentially kind of push these. The problem is, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit funny. Um, I don't exactly know how I can merge things in a way that looks good. What if I get like, let's say signs? If I get a square sign, that's not gonna work because these seem to be up like so. I don't think I'm able to, yeah, I don't think I'm able to place them unless, nope, yeah, they can't be placed facing up or down. Um, let's say I get one of these. Can I then place an arrow? No, I can't. That's gonna cause problems because of the dip. But if I temporarily ignore the... Oh, wait a minute. I have an idea. Or, hang on. I could also just do that as well. And then if I put something there to block that off, it's fine. Now let's see. Yep, we got it. Alright, now I don't think I need that right there. I think what I want to do is this one will be either... Oh, wait. I don't actually think I need arrows for this part yet. We'll find out. That's not gonna work, so let's do an upwards slope. That should, yep, that works. And this side doesn't actually need to match that side, thankfully. Although I would like it to. I don't mind if it doesn't. Oh. Well, that's not gonna work. And the reason it won't work is just because it ends up filling up the space way too quickly. Yep, same deal with this one. The hill is too steep for me to rely on those solely. Oh, actually, the hill is too steep here as well. So I'm thinking what I may end up needing to do is using this ramp right here. And then we just kind of mark it on the way up. Uh-huh. That's a problem. We're gonna solve it by doing that. And since we don't need it to line up with the other side, I'll start to lower this side down. It may only need to line up a little bit later when I start the gas station. I think all I'm gonna do for this little spot here is a little bit of a hill. There we are. And eventually when these meet up, that's probably where I'll start pushing the gas station. For now, though, I need the center line here. And, ooh, I didn't think about that. Maybe what I do is something like that, and then... No, I definitely don't want to do that. But, if I look at it from this aspect, this technically should be there. Um, yeah, no idea. I just know that's gonna go that way, and this is about to have to move, but we're not focused on that just yet. We're focused on this, where the center line there needs to curve. There we go. Then we'll go to colors. I want to start potentially designing these to be different. Maybe like the blue and purple. We're gonna do black and white, and what I want to do is the first will be the primary color, the second will be the accents or the decals. Um, I load a preset. Wait. Oh. Okay, that's a little strange. I do wonder why I can't place more custom swatches in here. It would be nice if I could add more swatches to it. But that's fine. We'll work around it. We're gonna do that. And of course the wall goes up. Yeah, we'll do that. a little bit of zoopage. I suppose in areas like this where the walls end up being super tall, it wouldn't hurt just to add one of these. And then we need to head down here and grab these. There we are. Oh, well, that's not gonna work. And what that means is that I'm gonna need this right there. And this. Oh, oh. And then I need this right there. Except, wait, why can't I? Oh, because I'm in the way. Oh, and what that means is that this simultaneously now needs to change into that. Wait, I can't just use this. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, that's actually really strange. So for this case, we're gonna do this with 2. And then this with 1. I could do this. Although what I'm seeing here is that I really should just consider taking this down to here and placing that there. Yep, there we go. That solves that problem perfectly fine. And then, Okay, this hill then goes up. What are the chances I can start pushing it up this way? And fast enough that this doesn't cause problems. What I'm seeing is that I'm gonna have to push that. Which then means I'm gonna have to push this all the way down. Which then means I can take this out. It then also means I'll have to take all that out. And then this has to go up. Alright, that's not gonna work. So I'll then do that. Oh wait, this is a ramp. That means I'll have to do that. And then this will just have to... And then we have the taller ramp. That work. Alright, let's first find out, can I flatten this? No. So this will just have to go up like so. And then we'll just have to do this once again. Now I can essentially keep a flat ramp. And then I need to do the center line again. Oh, and this actually aligns it perfectly anyway. Okay. Then we're gonna get the centered dotted lines. What the heck? You know what? I have a feeling this is for April Fools. I forgot about that. It totally makes sense when you look at it that way, though. And then remove that. Okay. That gets me thinking, though, is there more April Fool's content I don't know about yet? Oh wait, can I still jump off of these guys? Oh, I can. With an immense amount of force, too. Um, alright, we're just gonna force this way. Up until here, where I kinda get to a point. What if I do that? Let's clear out all the leaves. Can I do a ramp here? I can. And then maybe I rotate that the other way. And then we do this downward slope. Nope, that's not gonna work. So instead, I'm gonna have to change this entire road to go up too, aren't I? Because unfortunately this works. But then I have to figure out how I'm gonna cover this. And that would be something like that. Which then means I need something like this. And then this ends up repeating all the way down. All the way until a point where it's flat. Which, unfortunately we don't seem to ever reach. So that means this entire thing is gonna have to go up. Yeah, we'll figure that out later. Okay. Center line here. And of course, we color it. Okay. Then I think I need a classic ramp here. Alright. And then we're gonna do a center line down this way. Oh, maybe not here, since that's technically intersection. Same deal with this one, actually. There we are. And later I'll have the street lamps go all the way up there, and I'll also start making the gas station. Oh, wait a second. Oh, right, and I do want to paint these. There we are. Let's say I want another crosswalk here as well. Oh. Yep, that works. There we go. We now have these smaller crosswalks which allow access to the parking as well as access to the garage over here. Not garage, but the Pioneer area over there. And then we also have it allowing access to the actual mine itself, and then whatever else I add up here, which might honestly just be a dead end if I don't do some kind of ladder. So I can't go through this way, so I'll have to go the wrong way for a little bit. But eventually... Come on. There we are. Oh, you're kidding me. That's fine. I actually don't need this anymore. Oh, we don't want that there. There we are. Now we've got this road here. Little bump on the side, that's fine. Later on, I'll eventually come out over to here where these roads will merge and then have a road potentially going that way for a gas station. Or maybe what I'll do is the gas station will be over this side. I suppose it would make sense to put it on the corner over here, but I will eventually have to move the awesome sink, unfortunately. But that's gonna do it for this one. I am unfortunately out of time. And next time, maybe I'll figure out the color palette I want for the area. And I suppose I'll see everyone in the next one. Until then, oops. Let me go park the car and let's hope I can actually get through here. Nope, I look a little stuck again. Anyways, until then, let me go park the car and goodbye.